Alright, welcome back to your night guide for Brigandine, the Legend of Runersia.
And as usual, stay triggered. Pew pew, pew.
I'm going to go ahead and cover all these knights here. I'm going to try this on the custom mode so you can see them at level 1. And let me know if you like this or not. I know it's not the high level right now, but if you would prefer to see them at their highest level, I can do that. But until I see some fair number of comments, I think this might be the better way to showcase the knights right off the bat. I will tell you my opinion. I will tell you what I know of the game from plenty of experience playing through the game with all of the countries and everything. So you'll get my expert opinion on what I know and how I can describe this. But we're going to go ahead and start with RUDO today. So this is going to be about RUDO. And this is the custom mode where we get to actually see him at a level 1 status. Yes, I could have went into the alternate mode too, but I figure custom mode's easier because I can just kind of do it on the fly. So, what does he have for stats? RUDO is still quite powerful at level 1. You can't mess with this guy. Automatically you get the Sanctity Brigandine, which essentially gives you the passive skill of Inflicts Mana Stone's Grace, which essentially is all of these things right here that cannot happen to you. You cannot be poisoned, you cannot be paralyzed, silenced, you cannot be fainted, you cannot be turned to stone, and you can't be charmed to the enemy's side. So those are some really, really good boons to have as a ruler. The only one ruler that does not have that in this game right off the bat is Timmy Boy, Mr. Tim from HGE. He cannot get that. But here are some of his starting stats here. You can see on the side here, if we're going to like highlight some stuff, the command range. Let me get the thing to work here. Command range. Character growth is at E, which is not that great. And rune growth is at B. So his character growth doesn't grow that high. He's going to get up to about, I'd say about 800 hit points, which you're like, well, that's still pretty good. Yeah, it's actually fairly good. But you're not going to cap him out at 999 unless you give him items in order to do that. So that's kind of what I wanted to essentially say right off the bat, and I think you'll understand it. So he doesn't get a lot of MP growth, right? And you're only going to need it for certain skills, really, for the most part. CMR, Clean Military Rule. Later on, you're going to get this ability, which is phenomenally strong, unbelievably strong. Some people say it's overpowered. Actually, most people say it's overpowered, but I think compared to the finesse and the skill growing of his army, I think it's kind of necessary. He's kind of like Zemeckis in this game. Compare it to the Escarce Empire, if you will. Without the red dots, he has white orbs here. The reason he has extra white orbs on defense is because, well, he's got this Brigandine on, which is 2 extra white orbs for defense. So he has 1 orb. Sorry, I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm mixing up my buttons here. But he has 1 white orb for attack because of himself, and the extra orbs for defense are because of his Brigandine. Now, he's anything but a saint. He's the furthest thing away from a saint. I don't know why he's a white dot, but that's the way the game is. You have to play it to understand more of it. So attack-wise, really good. Agility-wise, pretty good. You know, almost in the... He's kind of like considered in the paladin range, you know, for agility and all that. Defense, very good, actually. Room power, all that stuff. So this is what you start off with the basic level 1 RUDO. You know, if you're going to play it like that. White Purge, it's basic attack, moderate damage. You know, it has 130 power here. And we go up to Untainted Path, which this eventually, once you take over enough castles or you do the storyline to a certain degree, you're going to upgrade this to CMR, Clean Military Rule. First thing it starts off as is Untainted Path. Deals massive damage to the enemy unit, and this will do 290 power, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's 290 power, and MP cost is insane for this here. 230, so pretty much it's a one-hit attack. There's no pre-move to this, so you can just walk up and do this to anybody, plus accuracy, plus elements on top of it. it is close enough to being, if anything's an overpowered attack in this game, this would be the one thing everybody would probably agree to. Once you level up, you get another skill here, which you can actually use to drain from an ally. You can drain their MP back to you, and then you could potentially do another clean military rule. The only problem is not a lot of people do it. I'd say the best person or best monster to have for this would be either a bishop as a knight, or as a monster, a phoenix would be good too, because you're just doing, you know, area heal, or you can have him suck back that MP to do another clean military rules. Instead of a heal, do damage, you know what I'm saying. So there's another ability that comes up later once you're level 20. I forgot the name of it right now, but you'll see it when it comes out there. I'm sorry, I apologize that I forgot the name, but you will see it, you will know it. It'll be in your inventory once you level up into the Overlord. So this goes from Hierophant, my mouse is all over the place, my Hierophant to Overlord. It changes to Overlord later on once you level up. So let's clean this up here. And yeah, essentially, you know, that's what you get as RUDO. He is a male, age 22, Hierophant initially, and his background is the legitimate son of Romanov, the holy sovereign of the Mana Silesia theocracy. For the 200 years since the Mana Stone 30 Years War, Mana Silesia and Gimol have maintained animosity towards one another through their differing sects of the rune faith. Holy Sovereign Romanov had been making efforts to dissolve this distrust before being murdered by RUDO, his son. With hands stained with the blood of his own father, RUDO now dons the Brigandine of sanctity and charges down the path of revolution in order to bring the land under the rule of the Zai sect. So basically, yeah, his son kills his father, patricide, and decides he wants to go to war. And so, yeah, he is, you know, that's RUDO essentially, in probably the worst character in the entire game, even worse than Zemeckis from Grand Edition. I don't think there is a worse character in here, maybe except for Zennies possibly, but you'll have to, you know, look at the storylines and see all the different characters and see what you think. But yeah, that's essentially RUDO in a nutshell there. It's not a whole lot more except for the other move you get, which is also a pre-move. Once you get that move, you can drain an enemy of their MP to put towards Untainted Path, or CMR as I like to call it. I'm sure other people do too. And Clean Military Rule is, once you use it, you're just going to be like, I cannot believe this is in a game. Essentially, when you're fighting RUDO, what you want to do is you want to put something in the front that's going to probably absorb the hit. And the fact is, you don't want to put dark elements in the front, because even Tim or Stella could potentially be one-shotted by this guy as leaders. Close enough. If they don't have any armor on them and you have armor on RUDO, you can pretty much destroy them. Even Rubino. I went up to Rubino once. I think I was like level 7 as this guy, as RUDO. And I went up to Rubino. Rubino was like 1 or 2. And I did a CMR and I just did 500 something points of damage over his hit points. He couldn't even handle it. Game over, one hit kill. One hit KO. So that's a great debate. Let me know let me know your thoughts down below if you think this guy is overpowered. I think we have probably the most divide as far as that is concerned. From playing the game, I'm kind of on the side that he's not. I think it makes sense for his country because his other knights don't really stack him as well compared to the rest of the knights in Runersia. And so I think having him be overpowered kind of balances his army out as a whole. But in the battlefield, tactically wise, at that instance, it is like an OP insta-death thing. And I've seen even when I'm playing against enemy AI, I see plenty of wizards and all that give him a power spell, and then with a power spell on top of that, on top of the CMR, he goes out and just does phenomenal damage. So you really have to be careful for this guy. If you want somebody to tank his hit, put something out there like a lizard guard or a paladin that might block it at 50% with a shield block. Maybe give them some white armor defense to cut down on that kind of damage so you can kind of mitigate it, because it's like getting shot with a cannonball in the face, essentially, when you fight this guy right off the bat. It's going to take forever to reload the cannonball if it never even happens, which for the most part it almost never happens. It just happens once. But just getting shot with a cannonball in the face is going to have you having a very bad day. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. That'd be great. And I will see you in the next guide video.